Good morning, Year 4. It's Mrs. Cafrello here. Welcome to Friday's maths lessons. Okay, I want you to open your book and write today's date, the 26th of the 2nd, 2021, and underneath write your learning objective to find equivalent fractions. So you can pause the video to give yourself time, and you can do that now. So to start off today, we're going to have a look at number bonds to 10 and 100. You guys are going to be really good at this. So have a look at this. There's 9 fish in the tank. I add 1 more. How many will I have? 9 plus 1 is 10. So 9 and 1 is a number bond to make 10. If I know that 9 plus 1 equals 10, I also know what number would this represent. So we've got 10 lots of this tank and 10 lots of fish. So if you know that 9 plus 1 equals 10, you also know that 90 plus 10 equals 100. So 90 and 10 would be the number bond to 100. So if 9 plus 1 is 10 and we times that by 10, we will find the number bond to 100. So 9 plus 1 equals 10, multiplied by 10 is the same as 90 plus 10 equals 100. Have a look at this one here. So we've got some numeric on here showing 7 plus 3. So 7 plus 3 equals 10. That is another number bond to 10. 7 add 3 is 10. If we were going to times this by 10, how many would we have? We'd have 10 lots of 7 plus 10 lots of 3. And remember, this one is going to be a number bond to 100. So we know that the answer is going to equal 100. So if we know that 7 plus 3 equals 10, we also know that 70 plus 30 equals 100. We have multiplied each of the numbers by 10. I want you to have a go now at working out these number bonds to 10. So 5 and 5 is another number bond for 10. If we times that by 10, what would the number bond to 100 be? Have a go at mild, spicy or hot. Remember to write in your books which challenge you're going to try. Pause the video now and then come back to check your answers. Okay, let's go through them and see how you've got on. So if we know that 5 plus 5 equals 10, we times that all by 10. We would also know that 50 plus 50 equals 100. So 5 and 5 is a number bond for 10. 50 and 50 is a number bond for 100. Let's go on to spicy then. So 6 plus something equals 10. Let's take a look. It's 4. So 6 and 4 is a number bond for 10. If we multiplied all this by 10, we would also know that 60 plus 40 equals 100. Let's take a look at hot. 7.4 plus something equals 10. So we're using the decimal point here. So 7 plus 4 plus 2.6 would equal 10. If we multiplied this whole sum by 10, we would have 74 plus 26 equals 100. Give yourself a tick if you got those right. Okay, today we're going to be looking at equivalent fractions. An equivalent means the same as, so it's equals to. So let's take a look. We have 2 bar models here. This first bar model is split into 2 equal parts. So the denominator is 2. In this shape, the bar model is split into 4 equal parts. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the denominator is 4. So the first one is asking us to shade 1/2 of the bar model. So we're going to shade one of the sections, one of the equal parts. So we've shaded one of the two sections of the bar model. The next one is asking us to shade 2/4 or 2/4 of the bar model. So we've got 4 equal parts and it's asking us to shade 2 of them. Now I want you to have a look at both of the bar models and tell me what you notice. Have a little think. What is the same about these bar models? If you look at them, they both have the same amount shaded. So if you imagine the first one being split into 4 equal parts, it looks just like the bottom one, okay? But if we take those back off, it's only split into 2 equal parts, but the same amount of each shape is shaded. So that means that 1/2 is the equivalent, the same as 2/4. I want you to have a go at this learning now. So in your books, see if you can work out the equivalent fractions. So there's a bar model on the top and there's one on the bottom. See if you can work out what the bottom is showing, which fraction is it showing. So these fractions are showing the top line of the bar model. Okay, so we've got 1/2, so 1 out of 2 is shaded. See if you can work out what the bottom fraction would be that is the equivalent or equal to 1/2. So in your books, I want you to write A, B and C, write 1/2, 1/4 and 3/4 and see if you can work out the equivalent fractions. Pause the video now and have a go. Okay, let's take a look. So on A, we've got 1/2 of the top bar model shaded. Across the bottom, we've got 8. We know that the denominator is 8. We've been given that. So how many parts are shaded? 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1/2 is the same, the equivalent of 4/8. Let's look at B. 1/4 of the top shape is shaded 1 out of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the bottom, it's given us the numerator. 2 parts are shaded. Out of how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So our denominator is 8. So 1/4 is the same, the equivalent of 2/8. Next one, C. It tells us that there are 3/4 shaded. 1, 2, 3 out of a possible 1, 2, 3, 4. We've been given the numerator, which is 6, so 6 parts are shaded. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we need to work out the denominator at the bottom. So how many parts are there altogether? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 is our denominator. So 3/4 or 3/4 is the same, the equivalent of 6/8. Well done if you managed to get those right. I want you to pause the video now and have a go at this task. So we have 4 different shapes, A, B, C and D. Then we have 4 different fractions. See if you can work out what each fraction is showing. So here we have 2 parts shaded of a possible 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's 2/8. For B, we have 1 part shaded of a possible 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 1/8. For C, we have 3 parts shaded, 1, 2, 3, of a possible 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's 3, 6. For D, we have 2 parts shaded of a possible 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 2, 6. Okay, my first fraction is 1/2. And that one will go to C, because half of this shape is shaded. Well done if you managed to get that right. The next one down is 1/3, and that will link to D, because if you imagined this shape split into 3 instead of 6, one part of a possible 1, 2, 3 would be shaded. Give yourself a tick if you managed to get that right. The next one then, 1/4, will link to A, because it is the equivalent to 2/8. Again, imagine this shape is split into 4 instead of 8, and one part of the 4 would be shaded. Give yourself a tick if you got that right. And the last one, 1/8, links to this one, and it's the equivalent because it's the same. There are 8 parts and one part is shaded. Give yourself a tick if you got that one too. I want you to have a go at this one now. It's quite a tricky one, so don't worry if you get stuck. I want you to work out what fraction is represented by each bar model. So if you write your fraction line for each one, and you're going to work out the denominator first, so you can work out how many equal parts of each shape there is. So for example, A has 1, 2, 3 equal parts, and that number goes at the bottom. It is our denominator. So if you can do that for each shape and then work out what fraction of the shape is shaded. So write A, B, C and D in your book and see if you can work out the fractions for each shape. Then we'll try and work out which is the odd one out, and we'll do that together. But pause the video now and have a go at working out the fractions. Okay, let's take a look. So A, we know that our denominator is 3, and 2 out of the 3 are shaded, 1, 2. Let's have a look at B. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 equal parts. So that number goes at the bottom, our denominator. 1, 2, 3 of the parts are shaded. So 3/4 or 3/4 of B are shaded. Let's have a look at C. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 equal parts. So that is our denominator. 1, 2, 3, 4 parts are shaded. 4, 6. D then, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 equal parts, and 6 of those are shaded. So we've got 6/9. Have a look then if you can work out which is the odd one out. The odd one out is B, and that is because the denominator is not in the 3 times table. Okay, so A, C and D all have a denominator that is divisible by 3. 3, 6 and 9. Okay, so A, C and D are all equivalent fractions. They all would equal the same amount of the shape is shaded. So B is the odd one out. Here is your learning for today. Remember to set it out really neatly in your book. You don't have to draw the shapes unless the question asks you to. And if you're drawing the shapes, make sure you use your ruler. I will leave you with another true or false for today. True or false, You can only fold square paper to show equivalent fractions. Email us your thoughts. What do you think? Good luck, Year 4. Don't forget to let us know if you get stuck.